I am a hard-headed person. Tell me I can't do something, and I'll do it just to prove that I could. I was born in 1982 in Bogota, Colombia. Upon my birth, the doctor says to my mother, "Your child has myelomeningocele, commonly known as spina bifida." But because he's a doctor, he gets to use the big fancy word that my mom, a highly educated woman in her own right, wouldn't know. Spina bifida is the most common disabling condition in the United States, affecting about 1,500 children every year. Not only was my mom told that I had spina bifida, she was also told that I would never walk, that I would be mentally retarded, and that I would never live past age 2. Wrong on all 3 counts, Mr. Smarty Pants Doctor. So, if you'll forgive me, I'm going to do a medical minute. Spina bifida can be prevented in 70% of cases if people take 400 micrograms of folic acid before they get pregnant. Over the years, I've had 19 surgeries to deal with the different issues that spina bifida has caused. The most memorable story I have is my freshman year of high school. I was going to go in for a very easy collagen injection, light anesthesia, no big deal. It's my freshman year of high school, and I'm starting to get to know people. I'm about a month in, and one of the people I'm starting to get to know is this guy, Tim. He's in my theater arts class. And so I tell Tim, "Hey Tim, tomorrow I'm having a minor procedure. I'm gonna be out of school a couple of days, don't worry about me." And he says, "Oh yeah, where are you having your procedure done?" And I said, "Children's National Medical Center." He says, "Oh yeah, who with?" "Dr. So-and-so." "Oh, I know Dr. So-and-so." "How do you know Dr. So-and-so?" "Because I have spina bifida too." That is the first time in my life I had had somebody else who knew what spina bifida was in my class with me. The entire career up until then, I was the only person with a disability. So let me tell you how amazing it was to have someone who knew what this is like. So the surgery was scheduled for a Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. And the night before, the scheduler calls my mom to say, "We postponed it by an hour, be here for 9 o'clock, for a 9 o'clock surgery." Mom and I wake up early as is, and so we were ready to be at Children's National Medical Center at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we were there, as if the surgery was still scheduled for 8 o'clock in the morning. And my mom starts pestering the doctors and saying, "You know, Alex should really get her CT scan now. I was scheduled for a CT scan after the procedure. It's a normal thing for me. One of the ways in which spina bifida affects me is that I have a shunt, a tube that goes from my brain into my stomach. And what it does is it prevents pressure from building up in my brain, which actually does cause mental retardation. So you get a CT scan just to make sure that everything's working okay. It's, again, not a big deal." So again, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and my mom starts pestering the doctors and saying, "You know, we should really get that CT scan done before her procedure. We don't know what it's going to be like after her procedure. You know, let's get it done now." "Sorry, Miss Dixon, we can't get it done now. The CT scan room is booked, solid, until 3 o'clock this afternoon when your child is scheduled. We should really get it done now." And this keeps going and going and going. 15 minutes before I'm supposed to go in for my collagen injection, they wheel me into the CT scan room. And I'm so nervous about the upcoming collagen injection procedure that I think nothing of it when the CT technician says, "You need to wait here for the doctor." Immediately, my mom knew something was wrong. The doctor comes in and says, "Well, we've canceled your collagen injection and we've scheduled you for brain surgery in 1 week's time." What? How can this be? He shows me my CT scan, and it shows that the ventricles in my brain are much wider than they should be, which means that my shunt's not working. Now this shocks me because in 1990, I'd had a shunt malfunction, and there was no mistaking that I was having a shunt malfunction. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning that day, throwing up, sick as a dog. I was so sick that I saw my mom's normally gray car as red, and I asked her, "When'd you buy a new car?" It is also the first time in my life that I'd slept past 6 o'clock in the morning. In 1990, when I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I had emergency surgery that same day, and it was a 3-month-long recovery. And now it's 1996, and they're telling me I'm having a shunt malfunction, and I'm completely asymptomatic. I come to find out later that happens to 1% of people with spina bifida. So collagen injection is canceled. I go home and I call Tim, and I say, "Tim, they're telling me that I'm having a shunt malfunction. Do you have a headache?" "No." "Are you throwing up?" "No." "That's strange." "I know." "Well, I guess I'll see you at school tomorrow." The next day, I go back to school, and again, I'm feeling great and very weirded out that I'm not having any symptoms at all. The week passes, and it's the following Wednesday, and my friends are wondering when I'll be back in school. And I say to them, "I will be back on Monday." And everyone's like, "Yeah, right. This is major brain surgery that you're having. There's no way you'll be back on Monday." Remember how I said I was stubborn and that it's best not to bet against me? I will be back on Monday. "Okay, Alex, whatever." So I have the surgery, and I'm coming out of the surgery, and I'm a little woozy and a little out of it. Mom asks, "How you feeling?" And I'm like, "I'm hungry. I haven't eaten." And she's like, "Okay, we'll get you food." What she didn't tell me is that her friend, her coworker, and my friend Ralph had come to the hospital to visit me. And since it was a surprise, it shocked my brain awake. And in that moment, it was like the surgery hadn't even happened. So I'm in the hospital Wednesday night. Thursday, I'm doing great. By Friday, I'm released from the hospital. I spend the next couple of days at home recovering, and I am back in school on Monday. Didn't I tell you, don't bet against me? I wish I had taken the bets. I would have been a rich woman. Never mind that the next day, I did develop a fever and had to stay out of school the rest of the week. But in that one moment in time, victory was mine. I have many more stories to tell about medical things, the show being medical things, but tonight I celebrate beating the odds by 32 years and 1 week. Thank you.